Welcome back to Kylie the Hedgehog's video channel, Hedgehog fans. Today we are going to read a book, and we'll have a special guest reading with us today. If you guessed Kylie the Hedgehog, then you're totally wrong. Today we are going to read with my grandma. So, let's start reading. The Octonauts and the Frownfish. It was a quiet and rainy afternoon at the bottom of the ocean when Professor Inkling was dusting his dust jackets. Tunip the Vegetable was tossing a salad. Quasi Kitten was watering his catnip. Peso Penguin was pinging. Shellington Sea Otter was ponging. Tweak Bunny was playing a game. Captain Barnacle's Bear was singing in the rain. And Dashy Dog was sounding the Octo alert. The crew hurried down to the HQ to find Dashy monitoring the octopod screens anxiously. "There's a fish with a very big frown outside," she reported to the others. "He looks so glum that all the creatures around him are starting to get upset too." "I can't find a fish like him on the Octonauts," Dr. Shillington said excitedly. "Could he be a new species?" "Octonauts, we should investigate," Professor Inkling declared. Up close, the little fish looked even gloomier. "Why are you so sad?" Dashy asked with concern. But the fish only replied, "Glub, glub." "What a dilemma! None of the Octonauts spoke Frownese. Perhaps if we understood his language, then we could help him," Dr. Shillington proposed. Shillington and Dashy spent hours in the lab trying to learn Frownese, but it proved to be a very difficult language to translate. "I don't think we can work much longer," Dashy sighed. "I'm starting to feel unhappy myself. Let's think of other ways to cheer him up." "Playing music with my friends always brightens my day," Peso shyly suggested. He invited everyone to pick up an instrument. As the crew gathered together to play a happy song, other creatures joined in. There was a clam cappella group, a sea orchestra, and a baritone wail. Unfortunately, the Frownfish didn't have an ear for music and continued to pout. "It's hard to feel sad when you're being glamorous," Quasi announced with a flourish. "Let's have a dress-up party." The little fish tried on many different costumes, but none of them could disguise his sadness. Dashy held up her favorite camera and asked, Why don't we visit the famous snail gardens? We could have a photography field trip. The Octonauts took photos of big snails and little snails, striped snails, and polka dot snails. The frownfish, however, wouldn't even smile for the camera. Sorry, hedgehog fans. Here we go. A game of miniature golf always tickles my fancy, revealed Dr. Shillington. The group putted and swung their way through many aquatic obstacles, sand shark traps, sea dragons, and electric eel tunnels. The frownfish scored a hole-in-one on the king crab course, but he didn't look any happier. I wonder why. We'll see in the end. I like working with my paws. Let's build something, Tweak suggested. Surrounded by gadgets and contraptions, the crew constructed a robo-tank for the frownfish. Tweak stood back and admired their work. Now our friend can use his new sea legs to visit us inside the octopod. If possible, the frownfish looked even brownier. Tuna chirped eagerly as it led the group into the kitchen. Vegemals love to cook and bake. Maybe the frownfish is hungry, Dr. Shillington interpreted helpfully. The whole crew set out to make their favorite pastries. They baked kelp cakes, kelp muffins, even a fancy kelp souffle. The frownfish ate an entire plate of cookies, but he still looked unsatisfied. You know what's funny about this page, hedgehog fans? So let me scoot in a little closer. But you can see Quasi eating some whipped cream, and look at his tongue. It's so funny. There's nothing like perusing the printed word to simulate the intellect and galvanize the imagination, Professor Inkling exclaimed to a confused crew. To the library, my delightful colleagues. Professor Inkling read from his favorite fish book of jokes, but the frownfish did not laugh once. Frownfish must not have funny bones, Inkling decided. The other Octonauts weren't too sure. They didn't get the jokes either. I always feel better after I exercise, Captain Barnacle said. The Octonauts swooshed down the slide, climbed the jungle gym, and rode the seesaw. Peso and the frownfish sat on the merry-go-round while Quasi pushed them faster and faster and faster until, whoop, the frownfish flew right off. The little fish turned, bounced, and rolled over. Everyone had rushed over in alarm, but they only had been trying to cheer him up. But now he might have gotten hurt. To the Octonaut's surprise, the frownfish had a big smile on his face. Of course, Professor Inkling realized. He's not a frownfish. He's an upside-down fish. There are different types of fish that swim upside down. It's easier for them to spot food. This chap is a fine example of upside-down catfish. I didn't know that. I should have known that from the beginning. Everyone laughed in relief to discover that their new friend had been smiling the whole day. The catfish made a big "erp" and turned himself back upside down. Or was it right side up? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't show you this page. Then the last page. The end. I'm sad this book is over. But there's something in the back. I can read it to you guys. Captain Barnacles. Captain Barnacles is a brave polar bear extraordinaire and leader of the Octonauts crew. He is always the first to rush in and help whenever there's a problem. In addition to adventuring, Barnacles enjoys playing his accordion and writing in his captain's log. Quasi Kitten. Quasi is a daredevil orange kitten with a mysterious pirate past. He loves excitement and traveling to exotic places. His favorite pastimes include long baths, racing the guppy, and general swashbuckling. Peso Penguin. Peso is the medic for the team. He's an expert at bandaging and always carries his medical kit with him in case of emergencies. He's not too fond of scary things, but if a creature is hurt or in danger, Peso can be the bravest Octonaut of all. Dashy Dog. Dashy is a sweet dachshund who oversees operations in the Octopod HQ and launch bay. She monitors the computers and manages all the ship traffic. She's also the Octonauts' official photographer and enjoys taking photos of undersea life. Tweak the bunny. Tweak is the engineer for the Octopod. She keeps everything working in the launch bay and maintains the Octonaut subs, Gup A to Gup E. Tweak likes all kinds of machinery and enjoys tinkering with the strange contraptions that sometimes work in unexpected ways. Professor Inkling. Professor Inkling is a brilliant Dumbo octopus oceanographer. He founded the Octonauts with the intention of furthering underwater research and preservation. Because of his delicate big brain, he prefers to help the team from his library in the Octopod. Dr. Shellington. Dr. Shellington is a nerdy sea otter scientist who loves doing field research and working in his lab. He's easily distracted by rare plants and animals, but his knowledge of the ocean is a big help in Octonaut missions. Tunip the Vegemite. Tunip is one of the many Vegemites, a special sea creature that's part vegetable and part animal that help out around the Octopod. They speak their own language that only Shellington can understand. Sometimes. Vegemals love to bake kelp cakes, kelp cookies, and kelp souffle. I hope you enjoyed this book, Hedgehog fans. See you next time. Bye-bye!